Welcome to this week's Living and Working Abroad podcast and vlog, where you can hear us and see us talking about the new Cyprus online tax registration, which is now become available from the 5th of June. After a big year and a big 6 months when they've been trying to upgrade the Cyprus tax system, they've finally got a system that works efficiently and effectively to allow people to, all businesses, all expats, all individuals, complete a Cyprus tax return online. And in this week's podcast and this week's vlog, I want to talk to you about the 7 new distinctions and important points for expats living and working abroad and doing a Cyprus tax return. First of all, like I've just said, now you can only complete a tax return online in Cyprus, which means that you need a separate registration to enable you to do that. If you need any help with that tax registration or completing that first return, if you're unsure about any of the information, contact us at projectpartnership.com and we'll be able to help you find a way to get registered and to complete that first return. Another big incentive for expats living and working in Cyprus is that you can earn 19,500 euros of income without any income tax at all. It's absolutely zero. So people who have got low pensions and low earnings can live here tax-free, income tax-free, up to 19,500. There is income tax to pay, and the marginal rates go up quite quickly. So point 3 is that if your income is over 60,000 euros, then the highest tax rate in Cyprus is 35%. So something to bear in mind. That's not as high as other countries. So for expats living and working abroad, they can still enjoy a maximum tax rate of 35% in Cyprus. If you're a pensioner, one of the wonderful things about Cyprus is that there is a flat rate tax on pensions of 5%. So it doesn't matter whether your pension is 20, 50, 100, 200,000, 300,000 a year, you still pay a 5% flat rate tax. This is a very low tax rate and very attractive to people with high pension incomes. The benefit of pensions is that they are a protected asset. A pension is a form of a trust, and so they can pass to next of kin with a minimal of fuss of probate and inheritance tax on death. So something to be cherished, and you can get the income during your lifetime out of a pension scheme and only pay 5% tax in Cyprus. Since 2015.5, expats that are not native Cypriots or not domiciled in Cyprus now pay 0%. That's 0% on bank interest, any other forms of passive investment income, and dividends. So actually Cyprus becomes very attractive for investors and very attractive for expat business and expat contractors that want a tax resident base to live and work around the world. And if you're paid in a large part on dividends, as a Cyprus taxpayer, you can enjoy 0% tax. So for example, a contractor could draw a £10,000 a year income tax-free, and then on top of that be paid 90,000 dividends, and the expat would have no tax to pay in Cyprus. So this can make it a very attractive base for people that work contract work and occasional work, or working on the web, who don't need a physical location to be based from. In addition to that, new expats, point 6, coming to live and work in Cyprus get a 50% reduction in their income tax in the first 10 years. Now there are conditions to this, but if you're earning say 100,000 a year, you will be on the highest marginal rate at 35%, but you would just be paying half that tax rate during the first 10 years. So this can be a very attractive tax saving. So if you're in a position where you've got an employed business and you're earning from that contract of employment, from that self-employment, or from your own company, you can come to Cyprus and not pay 35%, pay 17.5% tax for the first 10 years. So this remains a very, very competitive tax rate for high earning expats who have got the option and the choice to base themselves in Cyprus. Which brings us on to the biggest change for the 2017 tax returns. They're available to do online now. That's just come online on the 5th of June. The returns were due from the end of April, and we've still got to get clarification about what the deadline is for that. But now the first returns can go in where expats can take advantage of the new 60-day rule. The 60-day rule was introduced in Cyprus in 2017 and is applicable from the 1st of January 2017. And basically it allows expats to be a tax resident of Cyprus if they've only living in the country for 60 days. Now there are conditions. You do have to have accommodation here. You can't be a tax resident in another country. You can't live more than 6 months in another country. But for people that are frequently going to Afghanistan, Singapore, into Africa, into South America, into the Middle East for contracts and working for most of the year, Cyprus suddenly becomes a very attractive contractor location where with only 60 days residence, the grey area is covered up. As we know, with automatic exchange of information rules, that governments around the world can exchange information between each other, and banks can insist on your source of funds, and everybody has to provide their tax number to their bank, to their pension company, to their savings organisation. Now, to validate that, that's going to bring about some sort of conversation with a tax authority at some stage, and your country of origin can always have an interest in you. If you've got a tax resident in another country, then that conversation can be avoided, because you can legitimately do a tax return in Cyprus for your worldwide income and pay a very low rate of tax. And so the 60-day rule for Cyprus, new for 2017, allows contractors living or working abroad to take advantage of the grey area because they're not living in one country for six months, to legitimise their tax affairs and satisfy their banks and pay a low level of tax. So there could be a 50% reduction for 10 years on their income from their business. There's 0% tax on dividends and passive investment income, a 5% tax on pensions, and 19.5% personal allowance on income tax. There are some other benefits for expats living and working abroad in Cyprus. For those, you need to talk to us some more. So contact us at productpartnership.com. Follow our blog each Thursday on iTunes or SoundCloud, and watch out for our monthly live webinars, in addition to these weekly vlogs and podcasts that we're doing from our base here in our studio in sunny Cyprus. So this is Sam Orgill saying thank you for listening, and I hope you found this informative. I hope you found that interesting. And if you need any help with a Cyprus online tax return, or if you need any help and advice to consider making Cyprus your tax base and looking at some of the benefits of living and working abroad, contact us or share this video with a friend that might find it interesting. And if you've got any questions, feed them back to us, and we can feature those questions in future podcasts and webinars. So thank you very much, and speak to you again soon. Thank you.